Don't you think that campaign needs to toughen up a little bit and punch back?
Well, I'm not an ad guy, Joe, but I think we're entering the home stretch, and you're going to see very sharp distinctions drawn by the Obama campaign on the two issues that matter most to Americans. Who's going to better manage the economy? John McCain has been right with George Bush every step of the way as we've gone from surplus to deficit, as inflation is kicking up, energy costs kicking up, jobs are being lost, and Barack Obama is better qualified to manage the economy and get us out of this ditch. And then the second issue is the national security strategy. I think we heard yesterday in some of Governor Palin's comments continuing to assert that Iraq had a connection to 9/11, which is just so inaccurate, and that tells me that the McCain-Palin ticket will continue the policies of George Bush, and the American public knows we need to take this a different direction. You'll see that made very sharply. This has got to be a campaign about the big issues, not about, Paris Hilton or some made-up ad about some vote that Barack cast on a bill back when he was in Illinois dealing with helping kids deal with sexual abuse. Yeah. We're going to be on the big issues and drawing sharp distinctions, and that's what's going to enable us to win the race.
Andrea?
Well, Governor, hi. Andrea Mitchell here. Let me ask you about this. How do you go after Sarah Palin? They seem flummoxed by not knowing how to go after her. And the fact is, she got a lot of things wrong, but what people are talking about today is whether or not it was patronizing or condescending, or whether or not Charlie Gibson had the wrong manner. So is it really difficult for a man to go after Sarah Palin and point out that, maybe she isn't ready and doesn't know the answer to these questions?
Well, the issue is John McCain. That's the issue. That's who people are going to consider, John McCain and Barack Obama. You do it by talking about his policies and the direction that he will take this country. He has been, again, the most loyal supporter of President Bush, and there's not I can't see a single policy on which he is in any stark contrast to what President Bush has done for the last 8 years. And so, he's going to continue to take the nation in the same direction we've been going, which 80+% of the American public says we've got to change. I thought it was really interesting during the convention speech of John McCain that he decided finally, well, no, I'm going to be the change guy. And it's like change you can believe in versus America, if you give me one more chance, I promise I'll change this time. And I don't think the American public is going to buy it.
I remember Peggy Noonan back in 2000, it drove McCain crazy because he kept talking about reformer. Yeah. George Bush, about a month later, stole his campaign slogan before South Carolina, and it was reformer with results. It drove McCain crazy. He's doing the same thing right now. He's doing the same thing to Obama.
That was done to him by Bush.
He sees that it works. I want you, though, to look at this ad, Peggy, and Governor. McCain just put it out. And again, they are so tough. They seem to be a step ahead of the Obama campaign. And let's get a response on how they need to respond to these attacks.
He was the world's biggest celebrity, but his star's fading. So they lashed out at Sarah Palin, dismissed her as good-looking. That backfired, so they said she was doing what she was told. Then desperately called Sarah Palin a liar. How disrespectful. And how Governor Sarah Palin proves them wrong every day.
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
Peggy, this is like the New England Patriots against the Pensacola Catholic High School Crusaders. It is. It's not a close call. JV. Co-ed squad. Yeah. Seriously, Peggy.
So what do you do with that,
is it? What do you do?
What do you do? You realize that this campaign has changed utterly in the past 2 weeks if you're a Democrat. And you say, McCain-Palin, we had a problem there. We're not going there anymore. We're going to listen to Governor Tim Kaine of Virginia, and we are going to go forward on the big issues. We're going to talk about the economy. We're going to talk about foreign affairs. We're going to draw a real line between Republican views on foreign affairs and what we ought to be doing internationally and what Democrats will do. Get back on the issues. Get away. Don't hit McCain hard. Get away from McCain. Get away from Palin. Let them spin out there in their own universe. You go straight to the American people and talk about big things. That's the way out.
Governor Tim Kaine, do you agree? And should there be some sort of reaction to this ad? And shouldn't your candidate punch back in some way?
I don't think you need to dignify that ad. Look, if I was seeing that ad, and this was the first time I've seen it, John McCain isn't going to win this election by hiding behind Sarah Palin. He's got to be out there on his own.
So
and when he is,
I'm not sure about that.
Well, let me tell you this. When you... Well, we can have a difference of opinion about it, but when you look at what McCain's policies have been and will be, continuing the policy of focusing tax cuts on the biggest businesses and the wealthiest individuals, Senator Obama is middle-class folks and small businesses, and that one really matters. My dad ran a 5-man ironworking and welding shop. Senator Obama has no capital gains for taxes for small businesses, health care tax credits for small businesses. He knows that the success of the economy is measured by how the middle class is doing and how small businesses are doing. And that needs to be the focus. It's got to be on the issues and on where John McCain has been, because he can't become the change guy 8 weeks before the election.